Hello, my dear. Thank you so much for purchasing with Medium Emary. Today we're going to be doing a quick tarot card reading. So your name and info will be confidential. I'm going quickly to your message here. I'm so sorry that your son is going through this, so I'm going to try the best of my abilities to tune into that information for you. I'm going to your message here to read the question, just tune into the vibration of the message. I'd like to tune into what do you see for him? How can I help him? And let's see, hold on. I'd like to tune into what is best for these are a lot of take action cards, so for me that's a yes on the homeschooling. I actually am picking up though that I have a feeling that after you homeschool him, maybe there's like a program or something that he can feel more, or maybe like a change of school or something, or maybe a certain program that could help him connect. I feel like he doesn't do good with a lot of people, and a lot of, I don't know, just a lot of people in a room or just dealing with a lot of people. I feel like he does get overwhelmed and it's hard for him to deal with things. So there's this feeling that there will be a shift of something with the school. So maybe you'll change schools, or maybe there will be a shift with a program or a certain teacher or something where maybe he won't be with so many kids, or maybe a smaller school. There's just something focused on that. Maybe a private small school. I'm not sure what I'm seeing, but there's something of a shift with school with him that maybe your guides are just talking about as something that could help him in the future. But I am feeling that maybe you should homeschool him. I'm not sure the whole entire year next year, but I am feeling maybe you should try it out for like 6 months, or maybe like the first couple of months, or first 6 months, maybe half a year. I don't know how homeschooling works, but there's a feeling that it will help him. But also there's a feeling where guides don't want you to take him completely away from school. So maybe you should try it. There's this feeling to try it out for a little bit of time and then put him back. But there's this idea of shifting him in maybe into a smaller school. I do feel like there's stress. Usually hives after a situation like that, because that sounds like a trigger to me. That what happens is that maybe he gets so sick that he gets very stressed out, and then his body reacts in that way. So it's like stress. It's just a lot of stress. And I feel like he gets stressed out that he was sick, and then when he goes back to school, it's this stress that he has over him that it breaks out in hives. So it's kind of finding ways to limit that amount of stress he intakes. I feel like, I don't know if he's your oldest one, but maybe you went through a lot with him with, I don't know if he's the one that has a different dad, but there's a feeling that maybe when he was younger, maybe he picked up a lot of energy around him, that there was a lot of stress and anxiety or something, and maybe that is why it's hard for him to deal. Like it's his body that's communicating and reacting. Some people won't even feel stressed, but then they get their eye starts twitching, you know, and it's because their body has that suppressed stress and it comes out through their body in a different way. So I don't think it has to do with him being sick. For me, it's all stress related, and I think the best thing would be to eventually in the future put him in a smaller school, or somewhere where it's not so much people, maybe a smaller class. I don't know how it works. Maybe something that's more intimate, because I do feel like he needs to connect with people. He needs to communicate with people. So I wouldn't homeschool him forever. That's what I'm saying. If you want to homeschool him, I would do it for at least half a year to try it out, and maybe he can go back during that time. If you want, you can try it for a year, but I do feel like he will miss wanting to talk or communicate or be around kids his age, unless you think of maybe homeschooling him and then putting him in like some classes for fun. I don't know, like art classes or sports. You know, it's keeping him, like it's the idea of having him around kids at least in some way. But I definitely 100% agree with you. I do feel like he needs to be homeschooled or either in a smaller environment with not so much people, because he is very energetically empathetic and he doesn't know how to deal with stress very well. I do feel like it's his stress levels, and I even feel like there's something with an allergic reaction to something. You can message me back. I want to know, does he take any medication or certain antibiotics or anything? If he doesn't, then we have to figure out what that is, but there is this feeling like he is allergic to something. There is some that's stress related, and there's definitely something he's allergic to that he's been intaking through food. And as I read your message, it does say that you were talking about food allergy. I feel like you need to check if he's like allergic to gluten or something like that. I know he's vegan. Maybe check if he's allergic to gluten. You know, I don't know. Most things have gluten, so you have to check that out. There is something, it could be something of that nature. Definitely, I'm telling you right now, there is an allergy to something he's intaking through food that is in most foods. So that's why I'm thinking it's probably gluten. I don't know exactly what it is. There's something he's intaking that is in most foods. And then also, it doesn't have to do with vegan. Like, he is eating well, but there is something with gluten. Or something that is in almost all foods. And then to top it off, it's hard for him to deal with stress. So I think you should homeschool him. Try it out. Try it out, and then see what he's been eating and check. And test. I know I wouldn't test it out, but like see what kind of things are in most foods. I know sometimes gluten is in most foods, and there are kids that are actually allergic to gluten. And it can come through in different ways. But definitely the stress is, what is the word? Exaggerating it. It's making it even worse. So I think definitely you're going to see a change. Once you homeschool him, I think you'll see that change, and it won't be as impacting the hives, but he is still allergic to something. You definitely need to check that out. And if you want to put him back in school eventually, I highly recommend a small school. He cannot handle big schools or being around a lot of people. So I don't know what's in your area, but to definitely look into that, as I feel like that will help. Alright, hon? So I hope you enjoyed this reading, or I hope it brought some comfort and healing, and please let me know what your thoughts are. I'm here for you, and you can communicate with me about it afterwards. I send lots of healing energy and good energy to your son, and I definitely feel like he will be better soon. I feel like this homeschooling will definitely help. Lots of love to you, hon. Bye now.